Hello, everyone, and welcome to our webinar, 8 Ways to Optimize Your Site for Q4 Success. I'm your host. My name is Janine Crooks, and I am the Client Services Manager at Awin US. Joining us today as our special guest is Paula Rollo. Paula has been a blogger for 12 years now, and I consider her a blogger extraordinaire. She's the founder of Quick Blogging Tips, which is a Facebook community, among many other things. And in addition to managing several profitable blogs, you are a proud Hufflepuff. Okay, so let's get started. Why do we recommend optimizing your site for Q4? Let's begin by taking a look at the opportunity. These are some statistics that Awin experienced during Q4 2015, and it's just continuing to grow. We were literally recording 600 sales per minute and 379,000 clicks per hour. So that's one way to really make sure that all of our servers are working well.
Because so crazy.
I know, to handle that volume, it's unbelievable, but I'm really proud of our tech team because they are on top of everything and make sure that we're in good shape. The most popular merchants by far were department stores, followed by clothing. But I thought this was really important to see that over 30% of the transactions use coupon codes. So, if you've got something there that that you can indeed tuck a coupon code into, always a good idea. You're likely to get much better success. I wanted to share some fun facts too with you, because one thing that's really different, for example, on Black Friday, but we notice the trend to continue over all of Q4, is that people are going to convert faster than they do at any other time of the year. So, to have 80% converting within the same hour, oh my goodness, that really, is kind of off the charts any other time of the year. But during the holiday season, that's going to happen. And if you're a blogger, it's important to know that content sites also converted at 75% on the same day, 69% within the same hour. That's almost unheard of at any other time of the year except Q4. So take advantage of that. One other thing that I thought was really important is that consumers spent a lot of money shopping for themselves as well, and they look for special deals on high ticket items. So this is when they're going to do things like buy a new laptop, a new television, that pair of boots that they've been lusting after all year. They're counting on it being able to show up at a special price or getting a special coupon that day, and they are saving their money for themselves as well as shopping for somebody else. And honestly, this is one of my favorite facts. We paid over $7 million in commissions in a single day. That's a lot of money. And we're going to have even more going through this year. We would like to, by far, make that $8.5 million during 2017. So if you want to claim your share of that money, the key is to make sure that you are optimized for Q4 activity. So let's take a look at some of the 8 ways that we're recommending to get your site optimized to make the most of this time of year. Number 1 is to review Google Analytics. Now, we've always seen that Google Analytics is packed with all sorts of insights about the traffic to your site. Paula, you are an expert at finding those kinds of insights. What can you share with us here?
So usually when we're looking at Google Analytics, a lot of the time you'll hear things like looking at the past 12 months, looking at a whole year. For Q4, you really want to look at like October, November, December of last year, because you're going to have those seasonal things that do great for these 3 months and probably don't get any life during the rest of the year. So some of those might not even show up on your 12-month Google Analytics on those first couple of pages of popular posts. So make sure you're looking at the correct months, even month by month, to find, and what you're going to be looking at there is just your most popular, probably 20 or 30 posts. When you go through there, then you'll want to be updating that content, of course. I mean, that's just general. I think every blogger is doing that at this time of year. But you want to be, what we're talking about today with those affiliate links is adding in affiliate links. if you've been around blogging a while, like I have, you probably already have affiliate links in those posts. But I am embarrassed to say that every year I find dead links. So I'll be promoting a post, and this has happened before where I've promoted something and it started doing well before I realized that the affiliate link that I had in the post was a dead link, because maybe it was like an Etsy link and that particular seller had stopped selling on Etsy. So instead of clicking to her beautiful product that I had been linking to in the past, it was just going to whoops, we can't find this on Etsy's page. And I think that Etsy is actually pretty good about that and giving you some suggested things to look for. But I've made it a lot harder on my reader than I needed to. And so you really want to go through not just optimizing those posts for SEO or sprucing them up a bit in the pictures, but make sure you're physically clicking through each individual link in those posts to be sure there are no broken links or no issues with any of the products that you're promoting. And then add in this year's links. There might be, there are things that are seasonally interesting to people. And so some things that might have been really exciting to everyone last year, the toy of the season, the outfit of the season, whatever, that nobody really cares about this year. Those things need to be swapped out for this year's wow product or something that might be more relevant this year. You may have signed on with some more affiliates that you didn't have last year that might be more relevant to a post than something random that you had thrown in there. So make sure you're checking all those things and checking them now, because if you're a blogger, you know that we're getting Christmas traffic already. We're getting Thanksgiving and Halloween traffic right now. And so before the big rush comes for sponsored posts or for any of those other sources of income, I like to make sure my affiliate things are in order so I can kind of coast through on that through the rest of Q4, because I know I've already done it. I did the work in September. So.
Oh, I think it's a good idea, and I know I'm dating myself, but I would probably be the person who still had like Cabbage Patch Doll or something, from 1900s, right? Gosh.
Exactly.
But I mean, you get the same drift on that. It's so important to try and do that, So, just to reiterate this, and I'm not trying to beat it to death, but really double check all your links is our second recommendation, because so often something will happen where the merchant will update to a new product. Maybe they've got a new product line that they're selling now. Maybe they've renamed the category. There's a lot of different things that happen. They're updating their sites as often as the publishers are updating their sites. So just making sure one last time, that you've got it all in place, and I'll tell you, small or big, that's what sites do this time of year. We know in advance, for example, like all of the large coupon sites, they are going through and double checking every single link along the way. And how many thousands and tens of thousands that they've got on there to make sure that it's all working. So, if you want to be as successful as they are, do that. One of the things that, that I always do try and see is that, you're in the right category, and there are so many new programs. We've launched, I think, half a dozen new programs in the last 48 hours. So, now's your chance. A lot of merchants are coming on board right now because they know that we're headed into Q4, in just days, and they want to make sure that, they take part in all the sales as well. So keep monitoring that to see who else just came on and might be appropriate for you. There's some really pretty cool ones. There was one that just launched that involved photography, for example, and that just looked fascinating. And I think that could be, a really big hit at the holidays. So, keep an eye kind of on that listing that shows up when you log into your interface page on the Awin interface. If you just scroll down a little bit, you'll be able to see all the new programs that have started. So make sure to take advantage of those, and you might find some brand new gems that you'll be able to share with your audience.
Another thing I found sometimes when I'm clicking through links is that sometimes the merchant or the seller will have updated their images as well. And so I've been able to do some different things where I had been advertising something successfully for a really long time, and then they suddenly pushed out all of these new, way better images than what I had been using. And so I was able to take advantage of that and majorly increase my sales on something that was already doing well. So I knew that the link was working. You would think there's no reason to click through here. I know it's working. I make sales on it every day. Well, I was able to really increase, I don't know the numbers of percentages is not my thing, but there was a large noticeable increase in sales when I realized that this woman had added new photos that I was able to use on my own blog and in my own promotions. So that's another little bonus that you can get if you're clicking around on your own links.
Oh, I think that's a great tip. Well, one of the ones too that is really popular, I mean, we've got social media here, so make sure that you take the time to optimize Facebook. And Paula, you are so good at this.
Yeah, so we'll jump right in. I will say number one is absolutely to put any sales words on your image and not in your description. Facebook doesn't like sales words. If you're saying things like literally the word sale or discount or clearance or % off or any of those lovely things that make people want to click, there's something in Facebook algorithm that will flag those words and not give you any reach unless you pay to get that reach. I think they kind of look at it like we're getting money obviously from this, so they should be too. So if you have anything like that, if it's a big discount item, if it's one of those Black Friday things where it's 75% off, it's 90% off, you want to be able to communicate this to your followers. Edit the image and add that information on the photo, even if it's just like a little star that says 90% off today only. If it's a little banner at the bottom, something that's communicating that sale information and that it's time sensitive without having to diminish your reach by putting that in the description. One thing, I've been getting this question a lot about when do we start putting out holiday content. I'm definitely going to be doing holiday content a lot heavier in the end of November and December, but I go ahead and start now, especially for things that take a little bit of planning ahead. And you kind of have to walk your readers through it a little more right now than you do in December. So to kind of tell them why they need this product today, right now, instead of they'll see it and they'll kind of make a mental note and maybe purchase it sometime in December. You kind of have to talk them into it. So say, you know, I'm getting ahead on shopping this year so that there's less I have to do in December. So I picked up 4 of these for my nieces and nephews for the price of 1 today, or something like that. Like, kind of walk them through a story of your experience with the product or why they need to engage right now. I've seen a lot of bloggers writing about those Lego what are they called where you count down to Christmas? Advent calendars. Oh. Lego advent calendars, because they almost always sell out. Different things like that. Even regular advent calendars like on Etsy, a lot of those sellers stop their creation if it's something personalized or something that's monogrammed. So you can kind of feed your readers that information, like, this might not be available in December. This might not get there by Christmas if you don't order it now, because it's going to be custom made specifically for your niece or specifically for your child. And that can kind of feed them to go like, oh, hey, I should go ahead and purchase now and not wait for Black Friday, not wait for Christmas Day or whatever, just to be sure that they have it already. So those are some ways you can kind of get those Christmassy sales, even though it's September, even though it's October, you know. I think we all know how to drive a sale on Black Friday, but getting it before that day is always really good too.
Oh, for sure. You know, and I mean, there's so many holidays that are beyond just, you know, Black Friday and Cyber Monday and all those kinds of things. You know, Green Saturday, I think, is one of them and stuff like that. But there's a lot of stuff that happens in Thanksgiving, you know, and I know that in some families, you know, they'll all get together for Thanksgiving, but they all kind of head their separate ways for, you know, for Christmas or for Hanukkah or whatever. And, you know, they kind of swap those gifts at Thanksgiving. They're wrapped, not opened yet, but, you know, you've got to be ready for that. So if you've got that opportunity with your family, or let people know that that's a great way to do it, and it's going to save you a fortune on shipping, you know, not to mention you've also got to worry about, you know, will it get there in time, or will some gorilla in the post office accidentally drop it? You know, I've had both those things happen. So
it happens.
It does. I had one time when the only thing that got to my brother was the top lid of the box. It had been perfectly cut off, and that's all that got delivered to him, and everything that was inside wasn't there. And, you know, I mean, just, it's one of the crazy things that can happen during the holidays when you're shipping. But if you do it now, you know, that'll be good. Just a real quick question that we just had. Someone was asking us about Black Friday. In the U.S., that's traditionally been the holiday that's right the day after Thanksgiving in the U.S. And so it's called Black Friday because that's usually the day when advertisers become profitable. So they go from red ink to black ink. And so it's become a Black Friday tradition. But I will also let you know that one of the things that we've discovered from Awin, because we monitor, we're in 13 different countries. We have, 900 employees and 15 offices in 13 countries. So we track what's happening on around the globe. And literally that's becoming a global event. So it's kind of one of those things, to be prepared for. Thanksgiving is traditionally the last Thursday in November in the US. So Black Friday would be the next day after that. And then Cyber Monday is the Monday that starts the following new week. And that entire weekend is insane. While it's the craziest on that particular Friday in terms of sheer volume, it barely goes down on the other days. Now, one of the other things here too is our suggestion number 4, which is to optimize Pinterest. Pinterest has just been growing so much that that it's just something that you can take advantage of. And Paula, you have absolutely blown me away with some of the stuff you've done on Pinterest. I hope you don't mind me sharing here, but there's a pin that Paula put together on Pinterest of an Etsy product that is making you quite a nice amount of money every single month.
Oh yeah.
Every month. What did you say? It took you about 10 minutes to put it together?
Yeah, about 10.
You've inspired me to really learn how to master Pinterest because of that, So if you wouldn't mind sharing with our guests kind of some of your favorite tips and tricks for Pinterest, we'd appreciate it.
Yeah, so I know we're beating this checking your links thing, but seriously, go check your links. And this is one I wanted to mention on Pinterest in particular because there are a lot of products that I use on my blog, but I've also created direct pins for them. And this will be a pin that I upload directly to Pinterest, and I put the URL of the pin as my affiliate link. So it's not routing through my blog at all. It goes directly to the merchants that's selling the product. And so that would be the same link. I would know, I just checked this product on my blog, but Pinterest is still, while they allow affiliate links, sometimes they mark them as spam. And that has to do with the fact that the link is redirecting. Like that's how an affiliate link works, but that's also how spam works. And so a lot of the time it won't be necessarily a problem with the link that you got from affiliate window. It won't be an issue with the seller. Like the seller will still be selling the exact same product, but if you click the link, Pinterest will say, we've blocked this link because we think it leads to spam. And this happened to one of my most popular Christmas pins from last year. I was so angry. So I'm having to redo it. Yes, this happened to one of my, it had like 25,000 repins or something insane, and then they marked it as spam. Because of the redirect. I'm pretty sure it's an automatic thing that Pinterest does, so it's hit or miss. But what you're able to do, and what I did, was I went in and I created a brand new link. And I changed the referral, like in there where you're creating the link, it's like the referral ID. I changed it to something else, so that slightly changes the link. And I was able to kind of work around Pinterest being ridiculous with their algorithm in that way. And I went and edited those pins. Like I just edited the one link and put in the new link, and I'm monitoring the ones that I know do really well very closely because I don't want to miss out on even one day of that pin revenue that I'm getting from those links. So even if you think you've already checked them, check them again. Make sure that you're getting the credit for those links. And also, like, another way that I found that you get dinged as spam less is to use the long link for your affiliate link. When you're creating those links, there's normally the option to shorten it, and it gives you like a nice, cute little, maybe it's like 12 characters long or something, and that's great for Twitter. That's great for Facebook. It doesn't look as messy, but there's an extra redirect in there. And so getting those redirects down to a minimum is better. So I put the like massive, it's a paragraph long of URL. That's the one I use for Pinterest. So make sure you're using those as well. And that's what using long links, that's what I'm talking about. You want long images and you want long links. Pinterest is all about the length of things on there. So The other thing is just in the last couple of months, hashtags are back on Pinterest. They're so weird because like affiliate links were good and then they disallowed them and now they're back again. And it's been the exact same thing with hashtags. But right now, hashtags are back. So I would also go through to those old pins and all the new ones that you do and kind of hashtag them with different things that you think people will be searching for, like Christmas, gift idea, Thanksgiving, Black Friday, whatever it might be, and then make sure you're also really optimizing for search, your descriptions. I put in mega long descriptions on my my affiliate pins. Sometimes I'll grab some of the description from the merchant itself. Like if it's a really good merchant that has a good handle on their own search terms, they know better than I do what people are searching when they end up on their product. So if I can see that they've kind of stuffed their description with keywords, I will use those exact same keywords and put them in my pin description. And even if it's not popping up in the feeds, Pinterest is still pulling from that when people are searching up there at the top on Pinterest and to try to find something. And so I want my pins to come up in as many searches as possible. Mm-hmm. And that's another reason I love Pinterest, because like Facebook, if you have a small Facebook page, there's only so much you can do there. But Pinterest is much more forgiving as far as being a search engine. And I've seen pins take off from very, very small Pinterest accounts. My own blog posts have gone viral from Pinterest accounts with like 60 followers. So wow. This is one of those that you're really not that hindered by having a smaller account or being a newer blogger or a newer affiliate, even if your account's still small. Obviously, it helps to have a big one, but you're not prohibited from making sales if you're optimizing stuff with search and making really beautiful images to pin from. So.
And the thing is, too, is, this is a wonderful place to employ things like long tail keywords. So, instead of just being, shirt, it's, pink shirt with matching whatever, Yes. I mean, to go ahead and do that long tail where, you can own that kind of term, and you can own it as well on Pinterest too. So, and I know, like, for me, what I'm watching is like, especially like the millennial generation, they live on Pinterest. My niece's wedding. Yes. Was a Pinterest wedding, and it was wonderful. Right. It was fantastic, but that's where she went and got all of her ideas. And, I believe that she's probably doing exactly the same thing now, as she's planning what she's going to do for the holidays. So, I think that those things are just really, really important to do. So anyway, we will do that with Pinterest, but also keeping on our social media theme, it's important to optimize Twitter. And, I don't use Twitter as much as I do some of the other social mediums, but I know so many people who absolutely rock this particular social media platform. Now, I love that you can pre-schedule things on here. Paula, you've said 35 products to tweet over the coming months. So yes. It's really good that we're holding this webinar now so people have enough time to do this. But, I know how you rock during the holidays. So, can you help us have some insights on this?
Yeah, so Twitter is a little less personal than Facebook and Pinterest, where you're having to like kind of engage and tell these beautiful long stories. Like that's just not possible through Twitter. So there are so many strategies you can implement there. But what I kind of try to do is create this long list, 35 or more products. I get a spreadsheet, whatever makes sense to you. I know some people are very anti-spreadsheet, but whatever makes sense to you, have that list, do the images, create the tweets, do all of that now, because again, we're trying to keep our schedule open in November and December for those last minute, the merchant emails you and they're offering you a special coupon code or different things. We want to have a full free schedule for those things to happen. So right now, go ahead and schedule out your Twitter. There's so many different ones. I don't necessarily have a favorite as far as schedulers to use. Hootsuite, TweetDeck, Meet Edgar, like there's various ones. I would go for the cheapest, honestly, because that's me. And just schedule those tweets out. These can even repeat themselves. So the reason I only said 35 is because you've picked your 35 favorite things that you think your Twitter audience will respond to, and you're going to do them more than once. The lifetime of a tweet is really not that long. Mm-hmm. So you can actually use the same affiliate tweets for each month and have one or two going out every single day and the same ones for October, November, and December, as long as they're not, Thanksgiving related going out in December.
And so Yeah, just
Go
to,
ahead.
to jump in on that one, I was actually at a conference and Guy Kawasaki was one of the keynote speakers. And he mentioned that he would repeat the same tweet 4 times in a 24-hour period. Not sure that I embraced that one, but he said every time it went out, it was a different audience. So even though it may look like you're repeating it over and over and over again, you're not. You're talking to different people every single time. So I think
Sure.
that's brilliant to say, yes, go ahead and keep retweeting that. You're not going to hurt anything by doing it.
Right. And I would make sure you're putting, I don't know how often he tweets a day, but I'm making sure I'm putting my, just normal random tweets that I tweet. I'm putting blog posts in between there. I'm sprinkling in so much free content that it's not, when you go to my homepage, my Twitter feed, you're not going to see 35 tweets over and over and over
Right.
again.
Yeah.
You're never going to know as my follower that I've done this. So, and hopefully, set that up so your followers never know either if you're going to do this the same way. And the other thing I just kind of wanted to hit on briefly, just to get your wheels turning about Twitter and implementing it. Another option would be to host a Twitter party. Find a couple bloggers. If you have a blogging tribe, talk about hosting a Twitter party together around a holiday. It could be Halloween, it could be Thanksgiving, it could be Hanukkah or Christmas or anything like that. If you're parenting bloggers, do it around, maybe 10-year-old boys. And what do 10-year-old boys want for Christmas? I honestly have no idea. Food bloggers can do recipes. And so tell all of your followers that you're having this Twitter party, choose a hashtag, try to get a lot of people there, have several blogging hosts, and then tweet your affiliate links during those parties. You're going to be bringing value. Here's a great recipe to cook for your family on Thanksgiving, and then here's a great platter to put the Thanksgiving turkey on with an affiliate link, and here's cute matching shirts for your kids to wear for their Christmas photos, and tweet an affiliate link. And so you're providing tons of great value to your readers on Twitter through this party, but then you're also going to be getting hopefully that value back through sharing your affiliate links and people retweeting them, because that's what you do at a Twitter party. Everybody gets excited and retweets. So
That's so true.
try to get your wheels turning and see who you can work with to make something fun like that happen.
That sounds great. That sounds great. So moving on to number 6, plan product roundups and gift guides. And I know that while there's a lot of folks that are on here that have been doing these all along the way, I'm hoping I can spark a couple of new ideas for you as you're doing these, because honestly, over the years, I have seen these types of posts be so successful. Really so successful. So, just to quickly review, a product roundup is a list of products basically in the same category. So maybe, your category may be, Christmas sweaters, ugly Christmas sweaters, go for it, and just give a bunch of different ones that are in there. Or it could be a little bit broader, maybe favorite boots, whatever. While a gift guide is a variety of products just for a specific group. So, go back through your posts, see which ones are the most popular posts. Was it ones when you were talking about, perhaps foods? Maybe it was one where you were, for foodies. One where you're talking about what to get for mom or what to get for dad, kids, teachers, and then I always hear from people about the tough matches. They've got the teenage nephew who, never gets off his video game. What can I get him for Christmas? There's stuff for that. Somebody who has absolutely everything, there's still stuff online that they don't have. And you can find it on here. So that's one of the things that I do. I always recommend looking for kind of some of the new items, the unique items for the year. You can always count on things like that from Etsy. But one of the things that I always like to recommend is, check out a lot of the other merchant programs, a lot of the other advertisers that we have on the network, because so many of them have some wonderful products that you never would have thought of, and it's not stuff that you can just go buy on Amazon. So many people think, oh, we can find anything on Amazon. No, you can't. There's a lot of online advertisers who do not sell on Amazon. And, you can only get their stuff through their sites. And it's amazing. And you know what? Then you are really sure that somebody is not going to get 2 of whatever, or that they're going to love the one that you gave them more. I always love that too. So, go out there and try and find who those guys are. Because if you're showing the same list of products that everybody is showing, the same favorite 10 whatevers, you may not be the first cookie that dropped. You may not be the last cookie that dropped on there, to try and make sure that you're going to get it. So I always try and look for something that's fun and different, and that's some of the places where I'll go to start. The other thing that I wanted to suggest here is to try taking advantage of the growing popularity of gift box subscriptions. Oh my gosh, these things are such a hit at the holidays. And many of our advertisers offer like a 3-month subscription. It's kind of their introduction way to see, try and get more people in there. But to give that as a gift at the holidays, oh my gosh, so instead of just one thing that somebody's going to get, in December or in January, they're going to get January, February, March. And they don't know what's going to come in those boxes, but it's going to be something great. And that's really fun. I mean, we've all probably seen the FabFitFun ads. I know there's a million of them, to me anyway, on Facebook all the time. And the stuff in there is so cool. By the way, they are one of our merchants. So you can take advantage of them, through us. But, it's pretty much guaranteed that the retail value of whatever is in that box is going to exceed whatever the cost was that you paid for it. So it's kind of one of those ways of getting a great deal on a gift that keeps showing up every month, and that's going to give them a lot of stuff to do. And there's all sorts of different kinds of gift boxes out there. So there's ones about beauty, there's ones about fashion, and we've even got Trendy Butler, which is a clothing gift box for men. And they've even got a variety of choices in there. So, it doesn't just have to be, the suit and tie, the tie with the perfect shirt or whatever. They've got more casual clothes. They've got all sorts of really neat things that are on there. And, like my brother is, a very business professional kind of guy, but, he likes to hang out too. So, that's kind of an easier way for me to be able to find something to send to him besides socks. He's got enough pairs. So, it's really kind of fun. And some of the ones that are available for like some of the geeks, you can either do it like perhaps they just, love the latest technology. And I've seen ones that, have this cool new gadget that, is barely out anyplace else, but it's in the gift box. And, it's loved. Or if they've got, like a special genre that they love, whether it's, the Avengers series or something like that, there's all sorts of ways that you can narrow in on the gift boxes to make them really appropriate for your recipient. And, when somebody knows that you've taken that extra step to really find the perfect gift for them, just warms their heart and yours. So, that's one of the things that I think is really great. Now, Paula, I know you've done a lot of gift guides and product roundups.
Yeah, I love them. And I've also found, like, just to be fair and realistic, like I found sometimes they're hit or miss. Sometimes I'll make one and I'll be like, okay, that fell flat. I didn't make any sales. And then other ones that completely surprised me really took off. And so that's another thing that I do around this time of year is I will look at the ones that fell flat last year and try to figure out why. And change things up, maybe phrase things a little bit differently, maybe make my pin image or the URL that I'm putting out on Facebook a little bit different so it's a little more appealing and a little less just ho-hum or like you were saying, what everybody's doing. You've got to get those like really unique things going. And just like everything else, the more you can solve a problem, the better. Everybody kind of knows what to get for certain types of people, but there are some really unique ones that if it's a popular thing that everybody's kind of dealing with, but they don't know how to deal with, that's going to be the really successful gift guide that people are going to go to. They'll be like, oh my gosh, you solved my problem, and they're going to make the purchase. So
that sounds great. I love that. So gift guides are always fun. One of the things that I wanted to talk about at this time of year is special placements. Right now, there's a lot of advertisers that are considering offers for special placements on their websites. They're making those decisions now, so don't be afraid to reach out to them. Keep in mind that you're competing with a lot of other sites for those holiday promotional dollars. So some of the things that I like to recommend is, one, make the deal that you're offering to them really fantastic. Figure out some way to add some additional promotions, throw in a couple of bonus ideas that are in there, whether it's things like I'll include you in my email, or I'm going to put your banner here and here and here, and I'm going to keep rotating it and make sure I've got whatever. Any of those kinds of things are great. There's a couple ideas there. So, top of category or a sponsored post or something like that. The other thing that I always recommend too is that if possible, don't just consider them doing a direct cash payout to you on it, because like I said, there's a limited number of sponsorship dollars available. But a lot of times they will respond well if you say, you know what, I'm going to give you all this extra promotion. Is it possible to get a commission bump? And I deserve it because I'm already doing this much with you or this much in the category or whatever like that. It's one way also to kind of bring your site and your abilities to the attention of various advertisers so that, even when the holidays are over, they're going to know that you took special care of them, that you made so many sales happen, that they're going to want to keep working with you. And by all means, post these opportunities in the opportunity marketplace on the Awin interface, because we do have a lot of merchants that are going there and they're looking for stuff, and we keep encouraging them to do so as well. So, they're getting pushed by their account managers to check in there and see what's available. But one thing when you do that is use keywords in your description. Not just general items, but be specific, like women's clothing or plus size clothing or kids' toys or cell phones or, cats or something like that. Whatever it is that is really strong to you. And you're not limited on the number of items that you can post in the opportunity marketplace. So, if you've got 3 categories that are really popular on your site, then, put up a post for each one of those categories. And perhaps get an extra share of what's going on there. But now is the time to start, putting those plans together, because now is when those larger advertisers are doing their shopping on something like that. And now on to item number 8, which is make sure your site is fully functional. It sounds funny, and I know we've been, talking a lot about all the different kinds of links and stuff like that. But one thing to do is go through and have your family and your friends test your site and see if they can find something on there that they break. So, test it on a desktop, test it on a laptop, find somebody with an Android phone as well as an iPhone, and see how everything works out. Are they able to navigate everything? Are the pages loading so that they can read it regardless of the device? All of those kinds of things really matter. And I'm really especially emphasizing the fact that mobile rules on here, because during the holidays like this, they get a higher conversion rate than they do any other time of the year on mobile phones, and usually a higher average order value. So you want to make sure that your site is going to work on a phone. Just think of everybody who's commuting in the morning and they're sitting on, on a train somewhere and they're trying to figure out what to get for Aunt Susan. They're going to go on their phone and start looking for ideas. And if they find the right thing, they're going to buy it right then and there. Make sure your site is working well for that. And if it is, it's going to really, make a huge difference for you on that. So, that's item number 8. Now, of course, because we're who we are, we had to throw in a bonus idea. So here's number 9, just to try and get you ready to prepare for January. So you're going to get through a lot of this stuff, to get ready for Q4. You should be getting most of it done in October and maybe a little bit of it in November, and then just monitor the site. But as soon as you get that prep done, start planning on January. Because so few people do that. You will do better if you are ready for January, because 75% of your competition won't be. So take advantage of it. In January, you're going to find all sorts of clearance sales that are going on. Everybody, at least in the US, quite often in January, companies have to do things like take an inventory of whatever they've got in stock. By doing that, put stuff on sale. Be ready for it. People are going to start redeeming the gift cards that they got for the holidays, and best of all, New Year's resolutions. The top 3 in that are usually things like weight loss, education, and finance. But you know what? I'm going to guess that probably everybody that's listening to this has their own list of New Year's resolutions that they've done along the way. Take full advantage of them. Write a post about that. I'm going to start my new year, and I am finally going to learn how to make a quilt. I am finally going to learn how to take up photography. I'm finally going to learn the difference between lenses, stuff like that. All those kinds of things. Put those New Year's resolutions into posts and put links into them. If you start putting those sorts of things up now, they're going to have plenty of time to get spidered and to get ranked before January starts, and you can own January that way. So that's our bonus idea right now. I just wanted to thank everybody for joining us today. If you've got any questions, please feel free to share them. Either you can do it now with us, or we'll always be around later. I wanted to also share this information. Here's how to get a hold of Paula. Once again, thank you so much, Paula, for being our guest today and for sharing so many wonderful insights.
Thanks for having me.
Well, I know how well
This is
you
always fun.
do, so I really appreciate that you're wonderful about sharing that with our audience here. And then if anybody wants to get a hold of me, here's my contact information. I am always around. I'm also the person who manages the Awin for Bloggers group on Facebook, so we're more than happy to have you join us there as well. Once again, I wanted to say that this presentation will be available on YouTube shortly, so I invite you to watch it again and perhaps share it if you wish. Once again, thank you everybody for your time and have a great day.